As you can see from the title of the video, today I'm going to be doing 22 resolutions in 2022. And I actually took a lot of notes on these because I want these resolutions to be things that I can stick to going into the new year. I feel like a lot of people create resolutions, tons of people. It's part of our culture, really. Going into the new year, you want to be a new person or a better version of yourself. But I want to actually be able to stick to these resolutions. I don't want to come up with things that are very unrealistic for me or things that I don't find fun and exciting and that I'm not really looking forward to doing. So again, I've taken some notes, some really in-depth notes, because I also believe that writing things down, visualizing them, creating a vision board, for example, is really going to help you in manifesting these things and looking forward to them visually every day. Many of these things are improvements on things that I am already doing and am on the track to gaining, but I want to move faster by being more consistent. So these are like concrete and specific goals that I want to accomplish. I wanted to kind of put a timeline on it, but also, again, make them very goal specific, make them things that I know are achievable for me, make them things that are very exciting that I'm looking forward to accomplishing for myself. So for example, I used to be really big into reading books, but not so much anymore. Like, I have Audible and I know I've downloaded a couple of audiobooks, but I don't find myself gravitating to listening to them. And I told myself I'd listen to it on the bus or on my commute to work, but I don't do that. I would rather listen to music. So I'm not going to read more books as my New Year's resolution, because I know for me, I'm not really excited about that anymore. So maybe along the line in 2022, I'll find that excitement again. But as of right now, I'm only making resolutions about things that I'm concretely excited about and things that I know I'm going to stick to and really be gung-ho about starting or continuing. Again, all of these resolutions are very specific to me, but I hope that you do get some inspiration for your own resolutions for the new year. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing on my list is time management. For me, this has been, I guess you could say, a struggle for years, and I've gotten much better than I've been in the past. But my main goal in doing this is really to plan out my days. And the best way for me is in my notes and to actually start using a planner. And I've purchased a couple of different planners, but I'll fall off here and there. And I think you'll realize throughout this video, the main thing for me, one of the pillars of my New Year's resolutions, is to be more consistent. So to be more consistent with my time management, I want to be able to plan out my days, especially my days off, in order to accomplish more during the days. I don't want to sleep away so much of my days because I'm so exhausted. For my working days, I want to be able to accomplish more and actually I want to put a measurement on the amount of time it takes me to accomplish things in order to accomplish more. Like, create time slots for things. But this isn't just to pack my day and get more done and overdo it. I also want to plan out my breaks and plan out some self-care time for myself too, so that I get to enjoy more of my days. And this is making me sound more and more like a Virgo, because it sounds like I'm planning things out so much. But one thing that really works for me is starting to plan out in the beginning as much as possible, and over time it becomes a habit. So number one, again, on my list is time management. The second, as I've already hinted at, is to use my time off more wisely as opposed to wasting them sleeping. Like, there are some days where I get so exhausted and I'll sleep the whole day away. But then I'll look back at a whole month and I'm like, every day off, I've slept the whole day away. So that cannot be the case, especially with all the goals that I want to accomplish in 2022. The third thing on my list, and this actually should be at the top, but I feel like time management is the main reason why I haven't been able to accomplish this. So I definitely want to spend more time with my family and friends. And I think that for me, I'm so goal driven and I get so consumed by the things that I want to do and the things that I want to accomplish, because at the end of the day, all of us want to be great, but I lose sight of the people that I care for in my life. And at the end of the day, once you remove everything else, those are the people that are going to be there for you. So I want to just reconnect with a lot of my family that I haven't been in touch with, a lot of my friends. And I'm committing myself to at least one time per month spend time with my family, and one time per month spend time with my friends. The next is consistency with taking care of myself. And this might sound a little funny because of course I take care of myself. I love getting my nails done. I love doing my hair. I love doing my makeup. But I feel like sometimes I get in a slump, and these slumps don't just last like a day or a week. Maybe they'll last a month. And I know a lot of people go through this. For me, when the temperature changes, sometimes I go through this, so especially in the winter time. But I want to be more consistent with taking care of myself, because especially during the latter half of this year, I realized, and it's like, duh, the better I take care of myself, the more that I spend time doing the things that make me feel good, even though I'm not feeling good in that moment, or even though I'm not in the right headspace, my mood gets lifted. And I can kind of push the bad to the back of my head, because when you look good, you feel good. The saying is actually correct. When you look good, you feel good. And maybe someone gives you a compliment. You're like, oh, that really kind of lifted my day. And it kind of like tumbleweeds itself. I don't know, like cascades itself. And you start to feel better, much better. So that's definitely a priority for me. Consistency with taking care of myself. And that can be a lot of things, whether it's meditating, getting my nails done, getting laser treatments. I got laser treatments, I want to say, I started laser treatments before the pandemic and I finished them, but after that, I have not been maintaining them. So, it's like something that I did for myself that made me so happy, that wasn't that expensive, that I'm just not continuing. Like, why? So yeah, the next thing on my list is to create a budget. This I have been super inconsistent with. I'll create a budget, I'll start paying off my debt, and I'll think, oh, I'm headed in the right direction. I can slack off a little bit. And then I start to slack off a lot. So I definitely want to recreate a budget that I can stick to. And I'm thinking of doing the 50-30-20 rule. So 50% goes to my needs, 30% goes to my wants, and 20% goes to my savings. But the biggest thing is that I'm going to pay myself first. So I'm going to save first, and then I'm going to pay for my needs, obviously my necessities, and then my wants. So trickling or tying into that for my savings. My goal next year is to save at least $15,000 for my emergency fund. So this one is a little bit difficult because throughout the years I've struggled with, do I pay off my debt or do I save? But also I've ran into a lot of situations where I really wanted to help someone, or I really wanted to do something for myself that was a necessity at the moment, and I couldn't do it for myself. For example, I had to get 4 of my tires replaced. I don't know what happened, but I got a couple of nails in my tires. Where was I driving? I don't know. It was a short-term drive. This was when I lived in an area that was very densely packed. So I had to get all 4 of my tires replaced, and it was an expense that I didn't want to have to make just out of my regular paycheck. But if I had that separate emergency fund, then I could have done that easily without feeling a type of way about it. So that's definitely a goal of mine. The next is to uphold my commitments. So this one, I think for a lot of people can be difficult, and although it sounds kind of vague, it really is not. So the main thing with upholding my commitments is I want to do what I say and say what I do, and I don't want to overcommit and underdeliver. That's the main thing. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to go ahead and do it as soon as possible. I don't want to wait until the next day if I don't have to, if it's something that I can do immediately, because I feel like that's what leads to like forgetfulness. So that's a really big thing for me, because I hate when when someone comes back to me and they say, oh, hey, a couple of days ago you said you were gonna do this for me. Are you gonna be able to do it? I hate when that happens. So definitely had to put that on my list. Uphold my commitments. So switching gears a tiny bit, I feel like I didn't really order these as best as I could have, but bear with me. I want to slowly replace junk food with tastier, healthier alternatives. So for me, if it's not tasty, I'm not eating it. My eating habits were horrible during the pandemic, as I'm guessing a lot of people's were. But you know what? I feel like a lot of people also found their healthy journey during the pandemic as well. So no excuses. My eating habits were horrible. I was in a funk. I was depressed. I was furloughed from my job. And although I know I'm a hard worker, there's always I don't know if I'm gonna have my job anymore. So I went into a slump and I was eating horribly. But I feel like coming out of that, I've gotten much better with eating better, but slowly, not really forcing it on myself. Not really telling myself, listen, this whole week you're gonna cut out carbs, you're gonna remove all of these things, because I do still need those tasty alternatives. I do still need to kind of wean myself off and not have a dramatic cutoff. That's not the type of person I am. So my boyfriend is a vegetarian. Already throughout the years, I've been eating a lot less meat and a lot more vegetables and fruits, and I just want to continue that into the new year and kind of replace things. So instead of having potato chips, maybe I bake sweet potato fries. So just finding tastier alternatives, and that's something I already started doing, but consistently doing it and actually replacing the junk food, because I definitely still have potato chips in the house. So yeah, consistency. So the next is to travel more. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I work in the retail space, and because I put in so much hours at work, I get a ton of vacation time. So actual vacation time, I'm lucky and very blessed to have 5 to 6 weeks. 5 to 6 weeks is a lot of time, but I don't always take advantage of that. Maybe I'll sleep away the week, and maybe I do need that, but not all 5 or 6 weeks. So the biggest thing for me is to use at least 3 out of the 6 weeks to take some vacations throughout the year. I can take a good amount of time and see a lot of great places, and I think saving also will put me on the right track to that. Everything is like interconnected with my New Year's resolutions, and I feel like that makes it so much easier to stick to these things, because if I accomplish one goal, it's only going to help me to accomplish the other goal even more. So I definitely want to travel more. I definitely do not want to sleep away my vacations. And my schedule is also fairly flexible too. So when I get the opportunity, maybe I can connect my Friday, Saturday off with my Sunday, Monday off to get my 2 days off for the week, but also have a 4-day weekend so that I can go, I don't know, to Cali or go to Louisiana. So definitely very, very important for me going into the new year, and something that I don't want to lose sight of, because it's one of those things you can kind of push on the back burner. Going on vacation is not really a priority, but it's something that I want to do for myself. The next thing on my list is to learn to swim. So I don't think I've ever put this as a resolution before, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. And whenever something is constantly on my mind and something that I always have wanted to do, I know that I have to do it. And once I accomplish that goal, I just feel like intrinsically so happy and so excited. And the same thing happened when I wanted to learn how to drive. Like, it took me so long to actually learn. I was so in my head about it. So long to actually learn. But once I finally got my license, I was so excited. And even till this day, whenever I'm getting into my little hoopty, I'm so excited to drive to wherever I have to go. So I need to learn how to swim. I can't go on vacation and not enjoy all of the water activities. I I wish I had taken a video. I went to St. Martin not too long ago and we went snorkeling, and literally I was flapping around like I thought I was gonna die. I can't live my life like that. I need to enjoy my vacations. So learn to swim. Next on my list, also an activity, I want to get back into doing yoga again. I don't know why I stopped doing yoga, but the last time I did yoga was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And that's something that I really enjoyed. So I want to get back into doing that. I don't want to force it on myself. I want to commit to a couple of classes a month. See if it's something that I'm really into, and then commit to another 4 classes a month. Just take it slowly, because I know it's something that I would really enjoy. Like, I have a yoga mat and I try to meditate regularly, so I know I would love to get back into yoga. And I honestly, like, I'm thinking, like, why did I stop? The next thing on my list is to date myself. So this one is a little tough, because when you go get your hair done, you're spending time with yourself, right? You go get your nails done, you get a mani-pedi, you're spending time with yourself. But I actually want to get dressed up, not just get dressed up for you guys. I actually want to get dressed up, put on makeup, do my hair, and go have a nice meal with myself. Like, go to a museum, go ice skating. I feel like we depend so much on having someone to spend time with, and I do have a partner and I love him, but we're not always interested in doing the same things. Like, he would love to go out and do things with me, but our schedules don't always align as well. So I feel like I kind of wait to have someone to go and do things with when I can do them by myself. And I'm so independent, but I don't know why I get like this strange anxiety. Like, I would go out and have dinner by myself and I'm like on my phone the whole time. But honestly, I'm enjoying the time alone, because that's the type of person I am. So I do not know where the anxiety comes from. So definitely plan to date myself some more and kind of come out of that weird anxiety. And the more I do it, the more I know that I won't feel anxious anymore. Next thing is to do one nice thing for someone per week. And I feel like I'm saying one nice thing per week because I stated this before, my mind could be moving so quickly that I haven't said it, but it's on my list. I don't really take the time to smell the roses, but I know there are instances throughout last year where I've gotten coffee for someone, or someone told me they weren't feeling well and I went to grab them some Tylenol and they felt so well and they were so grateful, and it really cost me nothing. Cost me something, but it didn't cost me much. And it doesn't just have to be me paying for something, but complimenting somebody, telling someone that they look good in something that they already feel like they look good in. It's just gonna make them feel better. So definitely something I'd love to continue to do, and to do more often in the new year. I don't know what number I'm on. I'm just going to keep saying the next, because as I'm reading this list, there's more than 22 things on this list, but next on my list is to grow out my hair. So as many of you know, if you've been following me from the beginning, or if you've been on any of my other social media platforms, I am a natural hair gal. So I love my natural hair. I recently dyed it, and to be honest with you, when I dyed my hair, I transitioned into not a much more hectic lifestyle, but a much more demanding position at work. So I feel like I wasn't taking care of my hair as much. And you know, natural hair, you gotta do your nice little wash and goes, you gotta do your twist outs, you gotta braid it down, you gotta make sure you moisturize it, especially when it's dyed. So I just decided to keep it braided up, and I've been wearing a wig for, I think it was since November was when I started my roll. So I've been wearing a wig now for about 2 months. And there's some growth under there, so I want to continue to stay consistent with that. And I think I'm also going to put out a video on how to grow out my hair and grow out my edges, because in just 2 months, honestly, even after 1 month, I saw so much progress. So look forward to that, or stay tuned for that. Ooh, this is a good one. The next is to clean for 15 to 20 minutes daily. daily. So I'm not the type of person that cooks regularly, so I don't have to wash dishes regularly, which is, I guess, a good issue not to have, but it'd be better if I cooked more often. So I digress. I can kind of dust or sweep throughout the house or wash an area of the bathroom. I'm not that great at making my bed, and my boyfriend and I wake up at different times, so that's gonna be a tough one. But I can start to clean little things around the house and not just focus on having a cleaning day, because having a cleaning day can become very overwhelming. And then there always ends up being something that you forgot. So in addition to having a cleaning day, I'm also going to clean regularly so that my cleaning days don't actually take all day. The next one is to trust my gut and intuition. So I don't even know why we do this. I think I was watching a movie. It wasn't a scary movie. It was a suspenseful movie. And if I can remember the name, I'll place it somewhere in this video. But one of the characters said, the villain said, you had this feeling, you had this gut feeling that you should not have been in the house, right? You should not have been in my house. No, that's not what he said. He said, you had this gut feeling that when I called you back over that you should not have come back, but you were so polite that you came back anyway, knowing that in your gut you should not have come back. Why are people like that? He said, I get so many people that way because they want to be polite so much that they don't trust their gut instinct saying run. Like, why do we do that? Again, I digress. This isn't about anything scary. But when I feel something in my gut, I just really want to move forward with trusting it and following it, because there are many times when I don't follow it and I'm like, why? Like beating myself up. Like, I know this. I knew this and I felt this in my bones and I still didn't follow it. So I want to trust my gut and intuition because I don't think it's going to steer me wrong. The next one, which I hinted at a bit, is to be more present. So my mind is always moving, like, I feel 1,000,000 miles per second. I'm always thinking about the next thing that there is to do, or how I'm going to plan to get things accomplished, or I don't know, I guess it's throughout the years of multitasking and taking notes and kind of having your hand in two pots and moving forward to kind of get things accomplished while getting other things accomplished. In the meantime, I need to kind of slow down. And this was actually a feedback that a great boss and mentor of mine gave me. Like, slow down, take some time, like really think about what's next and enjoy the present. I really want to take the time to enjoy the present, because when you move so quickly, like, it's inevitable that things are gonna fall through the cracks, and I don't want to live my life like that. I want to actually look back and say, oh my goodness, I really enjoyed getting to where I needed to be. Like, I really took the time to be present, to enjoy the stages and not kind of rush to get to the finish line. So yeah, be more present. The next is to create a bedtime schedule, and this I also have gotten much better at doing, but very inconsistent. So I want to get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. 8 hours would be better, but at least 7 hours of sleep. My schedule fluctuates, so I can't say I'm going to go to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. But I can say that I consistently will set my alarm to get 7 hours of sleep per night. And in terms of creating a bedtime schedule, sleeping 7 hours, I also want to not use my phone or watch television so much, because that's how I don't end up getting my 7 or 8 hours of sleep, because I go down this rabbit hole of watching an episode and I'm like, should I watch another one? Should I not? Should I watch another one? Should I not go to sleep yet? How many hours of sleep will I get if I watch another episode? Like, stop it. Stop it. So I need to not watch TV right before bed. So I really need to just create a nighttime routine for myself where I can get away from doing that. Yeah. And TikTok. Forget about it. Once I get on my phone and I'm on TikTok, I'm just swiping through. So definitely no phones or no TV before bed. The next is to take better care of my skin. So my skin is pretty good and I feel like I am very, very lucky and blessed to have good skin, but that's not gonna last forever. And I can't just hope and pray that my skin stays this way. I need to actually invest in quality products and change out my pillows regularly. That might sound gross. I change my pillowcases, but not my pillows regularly, funny enough. So I just need to invest in those things so that I can take care of my skin better. So the last bit of things on my resolution list have to do with content creation. So I've been trying to get into content creation over the past year and it's been a great outlet for me. I'm mainly coming out of the pandemic again. I posted quite a few YouTube videos. Some of them I've done extremely well, and believe it or not, have opened me up into some brand deals. So I feel like there's a lot of potential for me on YouTube, but I need to post consistently. I have a couple of goals as it relates to YouTube content creation. So I definitely want to reach 1K subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I do want to become monetized. As many of you know, that is the threshold to become monetized. I definitely want to reach that in the new year, but I think posting more consistently will definitely help me more in getting there quickly. I'm thinking of doing like posting every day for a month. December would have been the best month to do that, but work was definitely way too hectic for me. So maybe we'll try January or February. I just need to really stick to planning out my days. What is my content creation going to look like? What is my editing schedule going to look like? And making it easy for myself so that it's something that I can consistently start to stick to. In order to post for 1 month, I think I'm going to start creating videos ahead of time, just so that I have a week or 2 week head start, so that creating content throughout the rest of the month and editing the content is not so overwhelming. So definitely 100% something that I'm going to do going into the new year. I don't think I got so excited about content creation until I started using TikTok. So I grew quite a bit on TikTok. For me, I don't have 100,000 followers, but I have almost 13K followers and almost 500,000 likes, which is huge for me because I'm just a regular girl, you know, just sharing her life. But my natural hair videos have done well on there, so I want to continue to lean into that. And I've also gotten quite a bit of brand deals through there too, so very, very, very excited about continuing to use TikTok. The last platform is Instagram. So I have not been crazy about Instagram, but I want to say this last month in December, I started posting on Instagram. And I have under 300 followers, but I have a couple of reels that did decently well. So I know I have potential to do well there. And I want to also grow that platform because I know it's very much possible. And it's all, again, about being consistent. And the thing about TikTok and Instagram is that you can kind of use the content from one platform on the other. The same thing with YouTube Shorts. You can kind of post some of the content there, but you have to kind of be careful, but because not everything that works on TikTok is going to work on Instagram. And people think it is, but through trial and error, I've realized that it's not the case. So again, you can already tell that this is something that I'm very, very excited about. I've done my research already. I have an idea of what will work for my platforms, and I'm just super, super excited to lean into those things, to crush some goals going into the new year. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I wrote down again all of these things because I'm big on visualizing things. So I'm going to create a vision board before the new year because that's going to help me visualize it. I'm going to have the vision board on my iPad. I'm gonna have it as a cover on my laptop, on my phone, just to stay motivated and to see those things every day in order to stay on track. Because the biggest key for me, and I know for a lot of people, is to actually stay consistent with these things. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed watching this video, because I thoroughly enjoyed making this video more than I thought I would. And again, I'm super excited to crush these goals, and I hope that whatever goals you create for yourself, you're super excited to crush them as well. So thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.